Good day to all our viewers. Thank you for watching our show. So today we'll be talking about, other than the market outlook, uh, a hot topic, literally a hot topic. And this is about something which affects all of us, which is what's happening in the Indian power sector. So as we know, and we've all been reading about it, there have been, well, so to speak, power shortages in different parts of the country, or at least impending power shortages in different parts of the country. Uh, the good part of it, this is due to very strong economic growth, which would be there. So a lot of the economic growth, the economy growing, coming back out of COVID, things looking a little better than, or rather a lot better than what they should have been, and you are having economic growth. That's the good part. Uh, in addition to that, you had an intense heat wave, and you had a heat wave declared in various states in the country, and that's not helped matters. And needless to say, summer is peak power demand. So all of this coming together has led to a situation where let us call it, the power supply appears fairly precarious and fairly challenging. When you look at it that's on the demand side. On the supply side, it's your standard culprits which keep coming up. Power is a highly politicized issue. You know it, that at every single election, there are some sort of promises made on the power front. That leads to limitations in what one can do in terms of hiking power tariffs, which in turn leads to your distribution companies being unable to get their, let us say, their power tariffs or what is due to them from the consumers, who in turn, the distribution companies, who in turn have problems in, or have inability or restrictions in paying the generating companies, which in turn, of course, there is an issue in terms of purchasing power, purchasing of coal from your coal companies, and so on. So all of this leads to a situation of, so to speak, shortages, or a situation of tightness on the on the coal front. To address this, various steps have been taken. There is a stock of reviving certain gas-based power plants, certain idle power plants which were idle on account of lack of imported coal, etc. They've now decided to restart those plants, and more railway rakes to move the coal to the power plant. So with all of this, and I think with the summer season ebbing, I think you should have a situation of improved power improved power supply. In addition to all of this, something which we know, which is what's happening, the issue on the Russia-Ukraine front has not helped matter. That is actually in many ways further, let us say, exaggerated the situation. Coal is in short supply, and the prices of imported coals have moved up very, very, very significantly. That is all putting further pressure on it. Now, this is a part of an overall theme which we should talk about some other time, on rising energy costs and the fact that there has been lesser investment in the in capacities for various fossil fuels, has actually led to an increase or is leading to an increase in the power costs. We have participated rather well in the utility sector, and in the Varun will talk to you more about it, and we've taken further steps in that direction to talk to you more about how we have positioned the portfolio to participate in this, as well as the let's say the rather fluid market conditions. I will hand it over to Varun, who will take over now. So over to you,
Varun. Thank you, sir. A very warm welcome to all of you. Just to build up on what Shahzad shared. So we are seeing that it is imperative for any country to build a good mix of conventional and new sources of energy. So as we are all aware, India has a very ambitious renewable energy program. India has added more than 100 gigawatts of solar and wind energy in the last 5 years. And of course, India continues to build up on that. At the same time, we believe till the time the storage becomes much cheaper, it is important to have a good blend of conventional sources like thermal, and at the same time keep building renewable sources of energy, which is solar, wind, hydroelectric, and of course we are going to soon see massive investments by Indian corporate sector in the green hydrogen story. So I think purely from a market perspective, for the next 5 to 10 years, we should continue to see good earnings growth potential for both conventional power companies and renewable energy companies. In fact, a lot of conventional power companies have started to build aggressive size and portfolios on the renewable space. They have been adding capacities on the solar, wind, and hydro side to make sure they have a good blended portfolio. So we believe the utility companies will continue to remain relevant. At the same time, with the massive increase in demand that we are witnessing, will ensure that the power demand stays firm. Also, one very interesting trend that we are seeing across the country is that as the temperatures go up because of global warming or other such factors, we are seeing an increased demand for air conditioning. Right. So in the last few months of this season, we already seen 90 lakh air conditioners being sold, which is a record, the maximum that India has ever seen. And the AC penetration in India is still only 12.5%, and we have a very, very long way to go. For a hot and humid country like India, I think air conditioning remains a must-have, and that as the penetration of air conditioning increases, we will see more electricity demand, and of course, the consumer durable companies should also do well. So our sense is, I know some of these themes will remain secular long-term compounding stories for the next 5 to 10 years. Whether it's conventional power companies, whether it's new age renewable energy companies, whether it's consumer durable companies and electric appliance companies, we continue to stay positive on them. As far as the recent market volatility is concerned, I know we all know this has been driven in large part by the global volatility. We have seen the first interest rate increase in India by RBI of 40 basis points this month. We believe this is just the beginning. We could see another 50 to 100 basis points of repo rate hike sometime during this year. A large part of it is already discounted. As we know, the bond yields have moved up significantly in the last 12 months, and I think the market is largely discounting the expected increase in interest rates. Globally, too, we have seen Federal Reserve accelerate the pace of interest rate tightening with a 50 basis points rate hike this month. We should see much more rate hikes in US during the course of this year. The expectation, of course, is that the US interest rates will go up to as high as 3% in the next 12 to 18 months. So with that being the backdrop, of course, there has been volatility in the market. We believe this year will be a great year to build a long-term equity portfolio. We believe for the next 5 years, this year will look like, when you look back, let's say in 2027, 2028, 2022 will look like the great year for laying the foundation of a strong, high-quality equity portfolio with good earnings growth. So we believe this year, to go out and invest in equity in a staggered manner and spread out your investments over a period of 6 to 12 months. And if you invest in good quality stocks, companies with good earnings growth, companies which are available at a reasonable valuation, hopefully we should see good compounding over the next 5 years. With this, I will hand it over back to Shehzad.
Thank you, dear audience, for your time and attention. Appreciate the same. We will obviously be in touch with you at regular intervals and updating you on developments of what we believe of note and in the portfolio. Until then, always bear in mind that, times of volatility are great times to invest. Like Varun said, great time to be building up your portfolio for long-term wealth creation. Until the next video, stay safe and take care of yourselves and family. Goodbye.